financial freedom. It's been a while since I've presented you with an episode, but I couldn't stay gone for too long. Today's episode is one that I'm going to enjoy presenting. The reason why is because today I have a special guest by the name of Edward Bennett, who is going to shed some light on cultural diversity in the business sector. Mr. Bennett holds a bachelor's degree in psychology from Sam Houston State University and associate's degrees in business management, microcomputer application, and the humanities. He's a well-versed polymath I brought in for the purpose of helping our audience understand an important aspect of business. Since the conception of America, Northern European descent peoples have been the majority in the U.S. However, because of ethnic birth rates and immigration, among other factors, the Black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, and Pacific Islander populations have been growing at a much quicker rate than the majority races' population. Experts even say that by 2050, the population of Hispanic people in America will reach 33%, and the total population of all people of color will, for the first time in U.S. history, be larger than the white population. What that means for the business sector is that businesses will encounter more and more intercultural interaction. So, Mr. Bennett will help us learn how to navigate in these particular situations. Mr. Bennett, how are you today?
Fine, how are you?
I'm great. Well, let's get started with culture. Would you mind defining the term culture for us, Mr. Bennett?
From a business perspective, culture is the preference in goods and services of a group of people who share the same racial, ethnic, regional, or national background.
All right. That is a very good definition of culture. And we all know by that definition there are many different cultures in America, which is why we consider this society to be one that's pluralistic and diverse. On the business-related topics, though, let's start with marketing. Okay. How exactly does diversity affect the business's marketability? And please elaborate, Mr. Bennett.
Marketing is the moving of goods from producer to consumer and everything in between. Diversity involves reaching customers from all walks of life and appealing to their different choices in goods and services. Television is a good teacher. Commercials target all social groups, and you can see this on the screen. It is inclusive, and advertising is key. The more people you can reach, the better it is for your business.
Okay, perfect. Because a larger group of consumers means higher rates of income accrual, we want to reach as many people as possible. What are some business practices you can use to reach and accommodate culturally different people?
This is correct. By staffing your business with bilingual employees, people of color, and different sexual orientations, your business will have an advantage over competitors that don't use this practice. The catering business is a good example. By offering the usual fare and adding Mexican food, Creole, and Caribbean dishes, you will attract more customers. Adding a piñata delivery for birthdays and catering to quinceañeras are also two good examples.
So basically, contour your business's staff in a way that culturally accommodates the culturally diverse customers. Well, what if a person's business doesn't have any employees outside of themselves?
Then the owner should hire someone to advertise in Spanish, for example, and perhaps even learn conversational Spanish. I use Spanish as an example because the southwestern U.S. has the highest population of non-English speaking Hispanics and Latinos in general. It is a huge customer base.
Okay, so cultural competence is key, regardless of how many employees a business has. And bilingualism is a useful tool in reaching specific ethnic people your company may be targeting. Great. Now let's get more business specific. How can cultural competence benefit one in real estate or
You're correct. Online services are a huge and growing market, and by advertising and appealing to customers in their native tongue will give you an advantage. Real estate is a bit more difficult, and it's all about location. Neighborhoods are divided by social class and personal income, so marketing must accommodate for this. In commercial real estate, once again, it's about location. If you want your business to be located where there's a high volume of traffic, this sounds simple, but it is not. You can and should hire someone to do all this research for you, because this could either make or break your business.
I see. The reason I focused on realty is, of course, because I advocate for syndication in multifamily home realty. The reason I asked about cultural competence in relation to digital services is simply because our world is becoming more digital as an effect of expanded globalism. In fact, some experts say we're even entering the virtual reality era. So, please explain how globalism, the digital world, and virtual reality have or may transform the way we do business.
Once again, you're on point. The information revolution has increased globalism exponentially. This is a good thing for businesses. Now you can reach countries all over the world and through the internet. The services sectors can now conduct business all over the globe. The number one rule for all businesses is continual growth. Before businesses were confined by regional constraints. In goods, it was delivery. In services, it was the distance the customer had to travel to reach your place of business. Media publications are turning digital, as well as retailers, and the profits are worth the cost of free delivery.
Okay, now, please describe some business practices you observed quite often that may have been productive when global politics were more rudimentary, but are now counterproductive in our politically correct, pluralistic democracy.
Before we go on to the next question, I'd like to get back to the last question. Virtual reality. Virtual reality is mostly limited to gaming right now and movies. But many businesses have the software provided to provide the customer with a virtual reality trip to a certain location, tourist attraction, hotel, boat, car, etc., even homes. This is designed to encourage the customer to visit your place of business. You only need to look at Amazon and their use of drones to deliver goods. It's a good example. It is cost-effective, quick, and easy to implement. Even many service companies are providing home delivery in nursing, daycare, and grooming. Technology is affecting and changing almost every aspect of everyday life and business.
Okay, I'm glad you went back over the last question, because I'm pretty sure we all have been wondering about the virtual reality era, since many of us probably haven't even heard of it. But now, moving on to the next question, please describe some of the business practices you observed quite often that may have been productive when global politics were rudimentary, but how exactly would they be counterproductive in our politically correct, pluralistic democracy today?
You're right. This is especially true for small businesses, single proprietorships, partnerships, and LLCs. We live in a highly sensitive and politically correct society. Your personal feelings toward any segment of your customer base should be kept separately from your business. In marketing, advertising, etc. An example, the LGBT community will embrace a business that accepts their lifestyle and even welcomes their business. Your employees should be trained to interact with all people from different walks of life. Rich, poor, gay, black, white. This is the world that we live in now. And it is attorneys, attorneys will be quick to profit through lawsuits. But this is something that you must be careful with. In any small business, especially if you're just getting started. Attorneys will be quick to file lawsuits against you. You must be aware of this. You should train your employees and explain to them everything that I've just covered.
Thank you. you, Mr. Bennett, for giving myself and the audience some of your time to elucidate the effects multiculturalism may have on their business and how to capitalize off of those effects. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up this episode?
Well, first and foremost, you must understand that starting a business is a difficult endeavor. It's not easy for anyone. And also keep in mind that many businesses do not even show profit till the third or fourth year. So if you're having a hard time, just hang in there.
Perfect. Well, that was an episode of The Road to Financial Freedom. I know it's been a long time since I presented one, but I couldn't leave y'all for too long. And I hope you enjoyed today and you got some information that will help you ensure that your business presents a positive image to ethnic and culturally different people. Because in this day's economy, you will undoubtedly interact with people who are different from you and the employees that you hire. So it's good to ensure that you accommodate everyone. And with that, I end this episode. So long.